Hi everyone, thank you for being here today. My name is Michelle Mortensen and I'm going to talk about how the rising cost of insulin is affecting those with diabetes. So how many of you know a loved one, a friend, a coworker, or someone who has diabetes? Did you know that diabetes ranks as the 7th leading cause of death in the US since 2015? Type 1 diabetes accounts for roughly 10% of more than 420 million global cases of diabetics, and people with type 1 are insulin dependent for life. So if you don't know much about type 1 diabetes, it's a chronic autoimmune condition that occurs when the body's own immune system attacks and destroys the insulin producing beta cells of the pancreas. This attack leaves the pancreas with little or no ability to produce insulin, a hormone that regulates blood sugar. Sugar stays in the blood and can cause serious damage to organ systems. People with type 1 diabetes must inject or pump insulin into their bodies every day to carefully regulate blood sugar and stay alive. Type 1 diabetes also means insulin dependency for life. Diagnosed at any age, threatens devastating complications, demands meticulous planning to avoid life-threatening situations. Type 1 diabetes is not a lifestyle disease. It's not something that you cannot outgrow. It's caused by sugar, preventable, and it's not curable yet. So what's causing the rise of insulin prices? It's more than doubled since 2012 according to the ADA. According to Jesse Bushman, Senior Director of Health Policy at the JDRF, rebates are driving up insulin prices. So the reason why it starts off as, to understand the process, drug makers sell insulin to wholesalers. So it starts from right here. Wholesalers then sell it to the pharmacy. The pharmacy then dispenses the consumer and collects the copays. So here's the consumers. And then the consumers, and it's for those that there's some that use health insurance and some that don't. The ones that do use health insurance, they then hire pharmacy benefit managers. So they're like the middleman to the whole process when it comes to the cost of insulin and the rebates. So part of the issue with the rising cost of insulin is people are traveling across the country to Canada to go get insulin because it's about 90% cheaper than it is in the US. Also, people are resorting to rationing, which they're barely getting by with enough insulin in their bodies where it's deadly for them. Some of the outcome is, unfortunately, people have died. As an example, Alec Rashawn Smith died at the age of 26 for rationing insulin because he could not afford his insulin. Not because he didn't have a job, because he could not afford it with insurance. Insurance, he's going to be paying a deductible of $7,500 before they even kick in to help pay for his insulin. He was going to be paying about $1,300 a month for all his diabetic supplies, including insulin. It was cheaper for him to not have insurance and pay out of pocket himself, but unfortunately, he wasn't able to get the insulin on time before his next paycheck, which is why he had to ration. And now here is his mother holding a picture of her son at a young age because the insurance stopped at the age of 25 and he was on his own after that. If we are able to reduce the cost of insulin, here's a picture of diabetics who look happy because they can actually afford the supplies that keep them alive. Not because it's not just a treatment, it's a medicine that helps keep them alive. And I don't think people understand that enough, where it's not just something that they need to barely get by. It's a life or death situation where they need this. If we continue to let insulin prices skyrocket, we're going to add more and more people to this list of who was not able to make it because they could not afford it. What can we do to help reduce this cost? We can send a message to insurance companies and urge them to pass on the drug savings they receive to their members by going to Coverage to Control site, which is on the JDRF. They're one of the advocates for diabetes. Another thing that we can do as a society is sign up the petition, Make Insulin Affordable, which you can find on the American Diabetes Association website. And we can also take action on bills that matter about diabetes. On each state, everyone has their own bills. If we reach out to Congress or look into this information by each state, we can all help make a bill that's going to help everyone who has diabetes. Insulin is not a cure for diabetes, it is a treatment. It enables the diabetic to burn sufficient carbohydrates so that proteins and fats may be added to the diet in sufficient quantities to provide energy for the economic burdens of life. This is a quote from Sir Frederick Grant Banting, a Canadian physiologist and physician. Thank you.